getting in tune with, and I wonder if you guys remember this little girl or this little boy, right? She didn't play in Family Matters or nothing like that. I'm being synonymous with who you were as a child, right? Because there's a part of you that just woke up and was just happy to be alive. Every kid is like this until you beat it out of them. And this is what is called when you look at your child, especially like your young child, you know, you can have a child that's so happy and in love with life, and then you force their ass to go to school, force them to go to school, and now they're like stressed the fuck out, right? They're not that same happy child, and they're like bullied at school, picked on, and just a whole bunch of weird shit's happening in school. And every day, right? They're just like stressed the hell out, like just stressed, gotta work, like, and as a parent, you don't give no fucks either. You like, you better get good grades. I don't know what's going on with this person. They're just like at school, and then they come home mad, and you're like, uh, listen, I don't care what's happening at school. You got D's and F's. That's all I see. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta think about yourself. Like, you went to school, you was happy, little baby happy, just running around. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm a little happy baby. Yay. And now look at you now. What happened? And trust me, that baby is still getting their needs met, right? They're still like getting all the food that they want. They're enjoying life. Like, you are God's child. You are a spiritual being. And the child is connected to the emotional life. From 0 to 7, it almost feels like it's the parent's job to beat the happiness out the child. Listen, you gotta go to school, you gotta get good grades, you gotta, cross your legs, and you can't cry, or you're supposed, like, you putting all of this stuff on them, and what used to be this happy little child is now this grumpy ass teenager. And now you a grumpy ass 20 something. And now you a grumpy ass 30 something. And now you a grumpy ass 40 something. Nobody has to teach you this. You naturally will devolve and degrade yourself based upon the fact that you don't know what's happening. Then this is why, like, you ever be in high school with somebody and she the baddest thing in high school. He the sexiest man in high school. You start seeing them at 35 and you like, what happened? Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? Right? What happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. They were going through some stressful stuff. Their body produced the stress hormones. And when we talk about cortisol and adrenaline, these are potent, powerful things that ruin the body. Like, working out and getting healthy, I'm figuring out so much about my hormonal imbalance. Like, previous, I don't know where, like, I'm here in front of y'all today doing this live, and I'm so grateful. But if I didn't get on top of my life, my health, my habits, everything that I was doing, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here to even be doing this shit. Like, I was on my way out, kids and all, because I internalized so much and I put so much stress on myself, and I got so far from this version of myself that stress, it was killing me. Stress kills you. Being in a relationship where you're not being served and acknowledged and loved in your relationship is going to kill you. Working at a job that stresses you out, that don't give you enough money to create the time and space for rest and relaxation, but just work you, work you, work you, work you, is going to kill you. This is why you start off happy. Look at your kids. They happy for no reason. They ain't got no money. They ain't got nothing going on for themselves. They just waking up just happy, running around, just happy. Got them some Fruit Loops, happy. Our ass, hair all disheveled, grumbling and groaning around the house, you know? You are that same entity that's running around, waking up happy. So what has to happen is that we have to learn how to simply do this. Live life on life's terms, right? Because our normal solution in this game is to just avoid how we feel. Before you activated your sacral chakra, before any of this, the reason that we are here today is because we have avoided how we truly feel. And it's not telling your baby daddy how much he a piece of shit for not taking care of the kids. That's not how you really feel, okay? That might be how you feel, but that's not how you really feel, and that's not what I'm talking about. How you truly feel is the conscious mind being connected to the soul. That is a wonderful, unexplainable, indescribable feeling, right? Every day, all day, nonstop, just go, positive mental images, physiological reactions, right? This is the truth. You go within for absolute joy, right? Why? Because just posing a question, do you tell your partner the absolute truth all the time? Like, does your partner know how many times and how you have just got nasty and freaky with your ex? Like, does your partner know how freaky you got with your ex? Like, does your partner know how freaky your ex was and your partner not as freaky as your ex? Do you tell him how good your ex made you feel? Right? You was walking on air with your ex, and now you just kind of just be like, I mean, it was cool for what it was, you know, you a good guy, like, you know, that type of deal. Like, do you tell your partner that? Are you so honest and truthful with your partner? You know, it's a safe space. I'm not going to broadcast this and put the comments on there, but I'll just answer it for you. The answer is no, right? You do not tell your partner the absolute truth because it's normal and natural to lie. You literally have to be taught. Like, you have to be taught the same way we learn how to read, how to spell, how to do math. You need to be taught how to listen, how to learn, and how to tell the truth. If I don't know you're a safe space, how do I know you're a safe space? And what are the work that we're doing for me to see if you're a safe space? If I don't know you're a safe space, we can still build a relationship. We could do what is called a trauma bond, right? We can bond through trauma. What is trauma? Sex without spirit. Sex is like you just crashing into each other, crashing into each other. That's traumatic to the sacrum. That's traumatic to the cervix. And there is no actual love. So boom, there is no love. We trauma bond. There is no truth in that relationship. It's just a normal and natural thing that a lot of people do and a lot of people experience. So let's backtrack. I am going to merge my conscious mind, my waking mind, with my soul at my root, sacral, and solar plexus chakra, right? But the solar plexus is a projection of the work that we do at the root and the sacral, right? So the root, I come into the nothingness or pure consciousness. The sacral, I begin to feel real emotions. What is a real emotion? If you got a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, when you wake up that 2, 3-year-old and you say, hi, little Tink Tink, and he just so happy, he say, hi, Bobby, and he just start running around acting crazy, that's pure happiness related to the soul, right? Lil Tink Tink didn't get no quick weave. He ain't get no wings. He ain't get no Hennessy. He ain't go out. He ain't go to Acapulco. He ain't finished college. Lil Tink Tink ain't did nothing but woke up and nothing. He even just woke up happy. Right? We degrade ourselves of this privilege over time through urbanization, society, and life. Right? So then when we get back to living life on life's terms, it's real, real hard, right? Because we don't even know. We don't even know how to get to a state of mind where we're original. And this is what I can say it, but ultimately saying it is not the same as doing it. So that's where I can only charge you but so much, right? Because the rest of the way is you actually doing it. You actually have to get back to that little girl, get back to that little boy, and stop acting like your boyfriend, girlfriend, job, circumstance, situation is going to bring you joy. You're a spiritual being. It's time to be mature. Who gives a fuck about the external world? If you care about the external world, you are lacking a spiritual, mature understanding of what is necessary. All you need emotionally, mentally is within you. And if you are reliant upon your relationship to sustain you, 10 times out of 10, that person don't like you. And two, if they do like you, they like you while you're slowly draining or vice versa, right? So say for instance, you're in a relationship and a person is irritating you and aggravating you, right? They're getting on your nerves and you never say, hey, that thing you do irritate me, aggravate me, is getting on my nerves. But you like them, they only get on your nerves and irritate you and aggravate you. What's the problem? You're not telling them that they irritate you and aggravate you. So you don't say anything, you don't say anything, you don't say anything until they do something. And then you get mad, you're like, F it, right? I'm about to tell you what's on my mind. So you start yelling at them. And you don't even wipe your ass when you get up from the bathroom. You got doo-doo stains, and that should be pissing me off. Oh, doo-doo stain, boy. Oh, streaking stain, boy. You old. What you did? Donuts in your drawers? Like, what's happening? You got a track hawk in your drawers? What's going on with you? I can't stand you, old doodle stain boy. Right? You start telling him all this stuff. And then he look at you like, damn, why you ain't say nothing a long time ago? Right? We're talking about the emotional body as a way to clear it, but also as a way of why it's so effed up. Because in general, we don't tell people what we feel when we feel it. We let this stuff hold it in, let it fester, let it germinate, let it grow roots, grow whole trees. And then once we finally reached our boiling point, then we start telling people how we truly, truly feel. So if you are that type of person in a relationship holding things back, it's not your partner's fault. Nobody gonna tell you this. And in your brain, right, you thinking of that person doing that wrong thing in your brain, you're not even gonna tell yourself that you wrong for even thinking it. But at the same point, you should be able to say exactly what bothers you, exactly how you feel to your partner. Because your partner should be a safe space. If you or your partner is not a safe space, then you're not safe. You're not safe to express yourself. So once again, what's the big deal, right? It's normal for me to be in a relationship with somebody and not be honest with them. What's the big deal, hood? Like, I don't get it. When you are in a negative emotional space, you produce stress hormones. So being in a long-term negative relationship and you're not being able to just vocalize and be open and honest and truthful and be yourself and just exist in full happiness within your relationship, that is like a death sentence to be let out very slowly. Like with every drop of hormone into your bloodstream, it's slowly shutting down your body. You know how I know this is true? Because I know people that start relationships and end relationships all the time. I know people that get to a relationship and then it didn't work. Because since we are spiritual beings, your soul will eventually tell you, okay, enough is enough, right? Start arguing with this dude, cause a big argument, cause a big scene, pack your bags up, right? Your soul have you packing up your bags. You don't even know where you're going. I'm just out of here. I'm gone, right? Why? Because your soul don't want to die. You don't want to die. You want to live. You want to be happy. So when you start to examine anger, you start to examine hormones and stress and what it's doing to your life, you are desperately seeking and searching for something that's going to make you feel good. And if it's something that you're looking for, the lesson is that you'll never find it. If you're finding it within yourself through meditation and relaxation, whatever situation and circumstance you're in is an illusion, right? That's an illusion. The external world is an illusion. That's why when you find value in the external at an emotional level, you set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for death, right? To be very clear. So if I'm in a healthy relationship, in reference to my chakras, I'm in a relationship that allows for free and honest emotional expression, and it works both ways. You should be prepared for your wife to say, you know, I'm interested in different sexual partners. And not to say you'll be okay with it, but you need to understand that when people be in a relationship, they get tired of each other over a certain time and they want to deal, and they might meet somebody. You don't know. Your girl at work every day, she done met somebody. Your husband at work every day, he done met somebody. If you in a space where a person just tells you what they feel, you got to be okay with it, because you should be in a space to tell other people what you feel. And this is all dealing with your soul and the communication of their soul. And that partner should be on that same wavelength. So once again, open and honest communication and emotions, because just because we shuffle them under the rug don't mean that they're not there. Just because we don't see them all the time does not mean that they're not there. And that's why a sacral chakra work has a lot to do with shadow work at the same time. So when we are addressing our emotional body, this is going to allow you to live life on life's terms. Whatever comes up, I'm open and honest to say it, and I don't feel like I gotta have backlash, right? It's two types of relationships. It's a relationship that you just get and you trauma bond and you can't be yourself, you can't express yourself. And then it's a relationship that allows you to be yourself, express yourself, and they're mutual beneficial. And there's common goals. One is a good relationship, two is a toxic relationship, but you would never know on the surface, right? You never know who is in an abusive situation or who's not in an abusive situation, because once again, it's natural and normal to be in abusive relationships, to be in trauma bonds. That's a normal, natural thing. Nobody has to teach you that, right? To be in a healthy, emotionally sound relationship, that's where the education